Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSI DFS Fantasy NFL Picks for Showdown. I'm your Smegler with 31. Thursday night game, we have Detroit, we have Green Bay. We have a little bit of a mess on our hands here because both teams should kind of be getting back to full strength, which means there's a lot of question marks, especially on the Green Bay side of it, because Aaron Jones is supposed to be back tonight, and I haven't seen any news, and that's why I waited to get this video out a little bit today, see if anything definitive came out. So Aaron Jones looks to be back with no restrictions. Christian Watkins looks to be back. David Montgomery looks to be back for Detroit. So basically all these guys that have been filling in, Dubes and especially Reed and like Musgrave, are all like priced up just because of basically just doing well when these guys are out, and now these guys are back, and they just, and especially like Gibbs too is like 9,600 is just like a huge price tag to pay for running back, and he didn't even really have like a monopoly on everything either, because you had like Craig Reynolds in the mix there too when you had Montgomery out. So like basically we've got some choices and what to do here to make things make some successful builds. So we'll just run through some options. As always, I have about 6 scenarios up here that I'll just run by you, and we'll talk out the slate and see what we're going to do. So I think obvious for me in cash, I want Goff and Saint Bound. Detroit is favored here by about 2.5 points, so it should be a close game. The defenses are good, but they're not elite by any means. So I think Goff and definitely St. Brown is just I know he has the turf toe and stuff, but he seemed okay last time out. He's just a target monster. And I know there's other receivers, and Laporta's starting to come up, and with Montgomery back in the mix, will that diminish things? I don't think so. I think he'll be fine. I think he's good his own. I think he'll pay off. The only problem is if you go with St. Brown as your captain and Goff, you're really limited. And again, there's no value left here because all the guys that would be playing as value pieces and secondary pieces are all priced up because they did very well when the other guys are out. So I'm going to throw Carlson, the Green Bay kicker, as the piece, and then let you decide how you want to build. I think Love is an important part if you want exposure to Green Bay, because we don't know like where he's going to throw it to. Is he going to be throwing it to Musgrave? Is he going to be throwing it to Watson, Dubes? Did he develop like really well with Reed? Aaron Jones, if he's back, catches passes out of the backfield and can be like the wide receiver, like 2 or 3 actually there. So, or if the running game's going well and everything, maybe they use him a lot. So it's hard to know. So I think Love safe in cash. I think Montgomery, if he's back to his normal role, is going to be safe in cash. He's probably not going to get the touchdown, although we have seen him. He's not going to break long runs, but he's just going to do a lot to just chip away, and build. And his pricing is really nice here at 6,800. So I really like that there. I think both kickers are in play. Make sure you select the correct kicker. It should be Patterson, because Bagley is also there as a Detroit kicker, and he comes up alphabetically first as the same price point of 4,800. So make sure you select the right kicker, and Carlson for Green Bay. And then I do think, like I said, Aaron Jones is in play here because he could be a second or third wide receiver as well. And if he's back and he's healthy, and I think he had like was he the one that had the hamstring contusion? It wasn't like a true like hamstring pull or something. I forget what was wrong with him, but anyways, like he should be back and he can definitely rack up the yards. Yeah, again, I think it was a contusion that he had, and it wasn't like it was a bruise to it. It wasn't necessarily a pull. There was one player that was like that, but regardless, like it looks like he's going to be playing. So I think those are the ones you can mix in with cash. Like the tight ends too, like to pair up. If you want to go like Laporta and Musgrave, I'm okay with that. The other thing too is, what if you drop if you go Goff at captain, and then you go like someone like Josh Reynolds, who's the number 2. So they shut down St. Brown, or you don't think he gets the touchdown or gets enough to pay off his salary to make value. For cash, you want some more floor, then maybe Josh Reynolds is the right guy to pair with Goff, and then take Love and whatever is reasonable. Probably Musgrave would be the best value to pair up with him in cash, and then see what other two players fill out your build. In GPP, I want to go Love as my first and Musgrave, and throw Laporta in there if you want to go Goff to start building that way and just go like tight end with the quarterbacks. That's fine too. Some other thing if you want to go Love and throw in like Dubes or Watson or Reed or another pass catcher there, even throwing in Jones, who's going to potentially catch passes out of the backfield, works also. So whatever you think is going to work in that stack, but you already have with Laporta your piece for the Detroit, and then I just like in GBP, I'm just building kind of with Green Bay stack there. So I think most popular stack is in cash going to be like 4-2, and then probably a 3-3. I don't think you're going to see many like 5-1s. I think it's more of a GPP build. And I think like a 4-2 Green Bay is more of a GPP build. And I think that's potentially probably what I'm looking at in GPP 1. In GPP 2, Gibbs, I think people are going to overlook him. I think people are going to be like, man, this guy is so talented, but he doesn't do much. He's too expensive, 9,600. I'm going to put him as my captain. And then give me Watson and Love to run it back with. So what I'm thinking is that Watson and Love are going to get out there and they're going to put up a lot of points. Detroit's going to be behind in this scenario. So they're going to have to be throwing the ball. Maybe they shut down St. Brown, and maybe Gibbs is the one that's benefiting. So here, maybe I throw in Goff with Gibbs, because he's probably not going to be running as much as he's going to be like catching balls and gadget plays and stuff like that, and just trying to use his explosive speed to catch up if they're trailing. So that's why I really want. And if Watson's not the one you want to pair with Love, if you think it's like Musgrave or like whoever you think is Aaron Jones, whoever you think is the one to build in this scenario where Green Bay is going to be scoring a lot of points and getting ahead, and then Detroit is going to be chasing and they're going to need to be throwing. But I don't want to everybody's going to go with St. Brown, but I want to go with something different, like the explosive play of Gibbs. And that hopefully that's something that's dynamite enough if it works out in that game script to take down GPP. Contrarian build. Let's go all Packers here. Because I said, most of it's probably going to be 4-2 or 3-3, but favoring Detroit. Let's go all Packers here. So give me Jones, give me Love, give me the Packers D, and let me build a scenario where they get up, the D holds them. The Detroit piece, maybe I just take the kicker and then I fill in with the rest of the Packer, and my whole game script is that they get ahead, the D holds them to Detroit just has a miserable game offensively. The Green Bay Packers defense is outstanding, and then they use Jones to run out the clock. You might even throw AJ Dillon in this. I think that's the only build that I would like him potentially in here, because maybe he gets the garbage time run if just to rest up Jones if he's not 100%. But Jones and Love and the Packers D, they get out there, they get up, and then they're just running out the clock by running the ball, and just the points just keep on adding up. The defensive captain one, I think I would take the Lions D in this one. And again, I want to try to figure out like what would be the scenario that they would use. So the Lions D, they're going to run the ball out with the clock out with Montgomery, but Jordan Love's going to be throwing the ball around. He probably is throwing picks and stuff, but if he's like getting a lot of yardage to various receivers, nobody sticks out in this game script, then I think that's going to work well. So I'm probably going to see if I can get either Goff or St. Brown or both of them in my lineup also, because if I think that the D's shutting him down and they're going to run the clock out with Montgomery, I want to figure out like how they're going to get the lead early on, and then the Lions kind of built on the back half of it to kind of run out the clock and slow things down. And then finally, if you want to take a cheap captain, I think Marvin Jones or Wright would probably be my favorite one. They're talking, Marvin Jones, he was like one of the best wide receivers out there. I know he's a little bit older now, but he could still catch one touchdown pass, and that is at price point, even if he has like one touchdown for like 3 yards and one reception, then I think he definitely pays off his price. And it just opens up so much as salary at captain that you can get Goff and Love and St. Brown and anything else that you want to build. And that's what I usually do in my cheap builds is I will build in the flex spot the ultimate team that I want and see how much money is left and see who I can figure out for captain. If I still have some money left, then maybe I'll change one of the 5 other guys to give me a little bit more if I absolutely hate everybody there. But you're hoping for somebody just to catch like a cheap touchdown pass and at almost minimum salary get something, just a few points, a few catches, something goes on. And, if you nail that low ownership, the rest of your line comes in, then you're fine. The other thing I've seen it do before is not take down GPPs, but still place well in GPPs is if I nail everybody else in the flex and I get like exactly what I want in the game script that I want, and then the captain's a dud, you're not going to get the takedown, but I still have done pretty well cashing there. So, I mean, there are some other punts out there. I don't know if Antonio Green is even going to be in. I mean, Detroit has like 4 tight ends, so Daryl Daniels and James Michael Mitchell, I don't even know if they'll dress. You do have like Wicks and Torrey on the Green Bay as like the 4th and 5th wide receiver. So if Watson doesn't play, they move up a little bit. If Watson doesn't play for some reason, that definitely moves up Dubes and Reed and everything I said. Scratch it. Make sure that you get plenty of them in your lineups. And Digger, it looks like is the backup tight end there, but I'm not sure about him. I mean, again, it's the same scenario. I think Musgrave or Jones have the better chance of catching that like fluke touchdown, but there's definitely in play. And then Craig Reynolds, if Montgomery isn't full strength or towards the end of the game, like a cheap punt to run out the clock, then maybe Craig Reynolds you could throw, or maybe he comes in on like 3rd down or something as like the goal line back and gets the touchdown. It's the same concept as Jones or Wright. You're just trying to catch that oddball like TD with a really cheap guy and then you get everybody else in your flex that you want. And if you accumulate enough points there, then the icing on the cake scores a touchdown. And then hopefully you're up in the top of a GPT by the end of the night. So that's what I got for you. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the chat below or hit me up at MegaRotor31 on Twitter/X, whatever you call it nowadays. If you want more information on FSI DFS, we have a lot of free things going on right now. We have free Major League Baseball to end the season. We have free preseason NHL. We also, I'll set it up pretty soon to have free NASCAR for the weekend too, just because of it's a Talladega race and I can't really do preview videos for that because it's just going to be stack the back and you really need to know what the lineup is before that. I can't really do a speculation video like I do for other tracks where you try to pick out dominators and things like that. And thank you for watching this far into the video. If you want to help us a little bit more, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends. So thanks for watching. Check us out on Saturday night or early Sunday morning whenever I get the week 4 preview up, and we'll have that for you. So hope everybody has a good weekend. Hope everybody has a good Thursday night, profitable in DFS, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.